It's the hot seat for Vizag as Andhra Pradesh elections is just round the corner. I'm joined by the TDP Bharatiya Janata Party and Janasena's Vizag candidate there, Mr. M. Bharat. Thank you so much for speaking with us. First and foremost, it's going to be quite an interesting battle here in Vizag. Things are down to the notch out here. How has it been so far? What is your vision for Vizag?
I think firstly, coming to the competition, Vizag has been clearly in favor of TDP. When the state voted against us, we still won 4 MLAs here. I lost with a very narrow margin of 4,000 votes, and that was a contest where Janasena and BJP fought separately. And they got 280,000 and 34,000 votes. So if you do simple math, I should be in the win very clearly. But I think it's our responsibility to speak about what we've done in the past, the failures of the current government, and what we would like to do. In terms of doing the campaign, I'm normally a person who doesn't attack individuals. I attack government policies, government failures, and decisions taken by those in power, and how it's impacting the people, and then speak about what's my thinking. I don't like to overpromise. Politics forces you to sometimes, but I like to walk the talk. It's not very easy in politics because every meeting you go to, they ask, give us a commitment, tell us you'll do it. And sometimes it's hard to explain that this is not a decision that an MP does alone. There's a state government, there's a
lot of other
leader,
involved.
and sometimes it's the central government that has to decide. I can't speak on their behalf. I can tell that I will make this representation. Some people are not happy with that, but I think overall, net and net, I see a very one-sided battle as far as Visakhapatnam is concerned.
Interestingly, last time you talked about how, there was Janasena and Bharatiya Janata Party contesting on their own. But this time around, we're seeing the trio there. Do you think this is going to be an unbreakable trio, especially a change that the people of Visakhapatnam need?
See, this has become a historical necessity. We've seen a situation where all institutions in the state are floundering and are being destroyed by the ruling government. We don't know if we're living under the Constitution of India. What does the preamble say? It's liberty, equality, fraternity, justice. I can't come out and speak. I'll be put in jail. I can't come out and protest. I'll be put under house arrest. I can't speak for somebody else because then they'll target me with my caste. I can't speak up for justice because the police officer is doing whatever the party wishes. So in such a case, when the machinery is being diluted and officers are being morally compromised, it's important that we protect the state from such an evil force is our stand. And in such a situation, to put our selfish interests as a political party in the front may damage the state. So it's important that we do some sacrifice in the greater good and bring together the forces that are necessary. In particular, joining the NDA and joining the BJP is more from the purpose of ensuring that we have support in the government tomorrow. We have a state that has grown from about 3.5 lakh crores debt to now over 10 lakh crores. In a matter of 4.5 years. We are unable to pay salaries. So I can thump my chest, I can win the election, but tomorrow how am I going to govern? How am I going to bring investments here? How am I going to provide incentives for new investments? I need the support of the central government. YSRCP has put us in such a place where I cannot survive independently. I need the support of the central government. And that's the reason that's necessitated us to look at the NDA as a strong ally for us in the future.
Interestingly, Vizag has been a bit of a controversial, assembly constituency, be it when it always comes down to talking about the rightful capital of Andhra Pradesh. We've seen Vizag, we've seen Amravati and 2-3 other names there in the central list as well. According to you, what do you believe and the party believes should be the capital of Andhra Pradesh? We still, ever since the bifurcation, we're still waiting for the question mark answer of which will be the capital for Andhra Pradesh.
See, the debate in 2014 after the government was formed is two things. One, where should it be located and how is it going to do justice to all members of the state? And the other, how should we focus our development plan? As far as governance is concerned, we want it to be centralized. We want it to be in one city. So we want the executive, the legislative, the judiciary, everything to be in one place. And that's why we thought Amravati is equidistant from Ichapuram till Kuppam and hence made logical sense to be located there. But as far as development is concerned, we don't want to do some of the mistakes of the past and concentrate everything in Hyderabad. Now we said we want manufacturing to be done in Anantapur, We want paper industry to come in Prakasham.
Yeah.
We want electronics to come in Chittor and Tirupati. We want soft IT services to come up in Amaravati and in Visakhapatnam. We want Visakhapatnam to be the fintech valley. The current ruling party is experimenting with a model that has never worked anywhere. They're quoting South Africa, but the South African government themselves are saying that we don't want 3 capitals anymore. And if you claim that you are not rich enough to build 1 capital, how do you have money to build 3? It's a farce. You want to kill Amaravati. Why do you want to kill Amaravati? Because you believe that the community of the Kamma community that belongs to that region is going to dominate state politics. That's not going to go away just because of you changing the capital.
Yeah.
If you put it in Vizag, people are going to buy lands here also. But what you have actually hurt is the poor farmers who have come forward and donated their land to farm this city, over 30,000 acres. So the debate of where should the capital have been should have been done way before.
Yeah.
You have come together and have said that I support Amaravati by being in the opposition. We have moved forward, master plans have been laid, lands have been given out, buildings construction has begun. Once the government has changed, you have suddenly taken a U-turn. And you are saying that you want to kill. And you are packaging it with this very nice message that you want 3 capitals to be developed. That's not true. You don't want Amaravati to be the capital. You want to kill it. And you are saying Vizag. Okay, TK, you want to make Vizag the capital. What have you done here in the last 5 years to demonstrate that you are committed to Vizag? You've scared away Franklin Templeton, an investment of a financial services company. Lulu Mall was supposed to come here in 11 acres on the beach road. You've sent them away. HSBC has operated here for close to 2 decades. They have packed up and left. You have just re-inaugurated plants that we have already done. The Adani data storage and solar company, that one inauguration we have done, you've done it again. The Bhogapuram airport inauguration we have done, you've come and done it again. What have you actually done? You've built 10 bus stands, out of which 1 bus stand has collapsed. So you can't even build a bus stand. You are now putting a little bit of footpaths, a little bit of roads in about 100, 200 meters and claiming that we have developed Vizag. It's very unfortunate. People of Vizag are not so foolish to fall for that.
This is going to be a battle between 2 educationists, yourself, the GITAM institution there, and on the other side we have, a very strong candidate there from the YSRCP. As an institutionist, what is the kind of developments and plans you wish to bring for your constituency? Something that will make you stand apart as per, your opponent.
See, if you've seen some of the British members who have come and said, if you want to destroy a nation, destroy its education system. And our historical education system that we've inherited from the British has been made to make people as employees or quote-unquote slaves. We are trying to get out of that British hierarchical environment and create a holistic education system that used to exist in our Gurukul Paramparya. So, education system has to shift. The traditional teaching models have to change. And as an educationalist, what do we learn? That change doesn't happen overnight. If you want to educate a child, it takes 15 years, 20 years to bring a very strong moral citizen who is going to help build the nation. So I don't expect for me to achieve anything in 1 month or 6 months. I expect that I can lay the foundation or I can plant the seeds for a very bright future. But that requires continuous governments to take the good work forward. Like what Mr. Chandrababu Naidu has done in Hyderabad, whether it be in planning the ORR or planning the airport or planning the IT investments. What he has done from 1999 to 2004, the subsequent government in Congress for 10 years took it forward. The chief ministers continued it. And then when the state was split and TRS came into power, Mr. KCR also took it forward and has done a good job. And you see Hyderabad thriving today, one of the fastest growing cities in India. And as a former Hyderabadi, I'm very proud to see that. So I would like that to happen in Andhra Pradesh also. So as an MP with Vizag being the largest city, it's important that we lay that foundation, do the proper urban planning, ensure that traffic doesn't become an issue, water doesn't become an issue, drainage doesn't become an issue, electricity is there sufficiently, ensure that people don't build too many high-rises with traffic becoming a problem. So these are many things that need to be planned, which I don't see unfortunately in the YSRCP government or any of its candidates. They don't seem to be allocating any money or thought to that.
You're one of the youngest leaders in the pack for the TDP, the TDP, the Janasena and the Bharatiya Janata Party. And the youth at present is something that we're constantly seeing changing, especially now that a lot of people are interested in politics and the change that we all want to see. One message that you want to say for the youth that's going to be beneficial for the people of Andhra Pradesh, because let's be frank, there are several people talking about development that is still pending, rightfully pending for the state of Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah, actually, the youth have a long runway ahead. Someone who's in their 20s sees the next 50, 60-year horizon. So it's in their interest that they vote for a party that helps develop their future, rather than focus on short-term welfare schemes. But in an environment where there is extreme inflation, those welfare schemes do not even give you sufficient support. So youth want employment, youth want development, and they want to vote for parties that bring that narrative. They need hope. I don't want to take the youth into a direction where I say, fight against this caste, fight against that leader. That's not the narrative that we should take our children into. And it's not about drugs, it's not about alcohol, but unfortunately that's what's happening today.
Yeah, we saw the recent Vizag port also, massive load of drugs that were found laced with instant dried yeast. Tell us a bit more about that. What do you think went wrong? Fault on the YSRCP government. There's allegations on both sides. They're saying the TDP, the Janasena is behind it, and the TDP Janasena is alleging.
In general, I would say that the kind of stance you take sets the tone for what happens later. When Mr. Chandrababu Naidu was the Chief Minister, he said, I am for law and order, I am against drugs, I am against extremism, and he has taken steps in that direction. And you see the changes that have come in civic society after that. When the leader itself does not take that stance, you see proliferation of many different kinds. Law and order. A sitting MLC has been accused of killing his driver. There's strong evidence to suggest the same.
Yeah.
He has been arrested but released without any major consequences. There's a doctor here who cried for COVID masks. He was harassed so much by the ruling party that it came to a position where he committed suicide and he passed away. So people are afraid. There's no law and order. So because of that, it's very natural for somebody who's in the drugs mafia to feel Vizag is a place or Andhra is a place where I can get by because I can buy people. If there is no tolerance for this, they'll be afraid to come here because they know that the cop is not going to listen to you. They're not going to compromise with you. If there is corruption that is prevalent and if the leader itself doesn't care, it's very natural for somebody in the system to be bought and sold. So that is what we're saying. It is not about one particular instance of something being caught in the Vizag port or something being caught in the Kakinada port. It's not that. It is a series of events that tell you what is the position of law and order in this state.
A last and a final question to you. Have you believed that this is going to be the step forward for the people of Andhra Pradesh? This alliance, the India alliance, there's been a lot of talks back and forth, and finally it is fruitified to a success where the Telugu Desam party, the Bharatiya Janata party and the Janasena party are going forward with a massive alliance. Do you believe this is going to be the rightful change? Because one side we have Chandrababu Naidu, the TDP chief and the former chief minister, they are calling it as what used to be once a very fruitful land has now turned into a drug-laced mafia kind of. That's the image that. Do you think this is an image?
Not just this. It's also, I think, the global investor community is very, very disappointed with the state. We used to visit every time we get the opportunity. We go to Davos and pitch our state and compete with other states in India. And our state has gone once and not brought in anything out of that. We've cancelled the power contracts within the first year of coming into power. We've created so much negativity for the global investor community that nobody wants to come and touch us. And that is very unfortunate because billions of dollars have been invested and people want to pull out their money and then they go and tell 100 people that don't go to Andhra. So I think even if we come into power, it's very difficult to go convince people that...
So you do believe that there's been some kind of messaging that has impacted Andhra Pradesh investments and whatnot in the wrong way?
Absolutely. See, I think if you ask it's a simple matter of power is an example. Recently, court has given a verdict that what you have done is illegal to the government and to the distribution company. Pay up 30,000 crores of dues that you've accumulated. So, I'm actually one of the sufferers of that because my family has a 3.5 megawatt solar power plant. We had a 6 rupee PPA, but they said they want to pay us only 2.5. Take it or leave it. So, are we Gundaraj are we living in Gundaraj or what? So yes, it is a serious problem. I strongly believe it. The investors believe it. But we have to change that narrative. We are very determined to do it. We will be very honest. We will request people to come. I'm not sure who will come from outside. But I am sure that people within Andhra, people within Telangana, people within India will have more belief in Indian investment.
Yeah.
International investors may not come immediately. But I think once they see stable governance, slowly people will come back. And at the end of the day, investors want profit and they want stability.
So clean Andhra and fruitful Andhra is a message.
Absolutely. We will work on that and we will develop that. And the reason for us coming together is, see, 4.5 years we fought alone against this draconian government. And the entire force of the institutions of the state government have been on us. The university that I lead was attacked in the middle of the night. They broke over 100 meters of our boundary wall on land that we have applied to the government for regularization and allotment 17 years ago. The government has agreed to give it to us. If the government chooses not to give it to us, it's as simple as sending a letter, we don't want to give it to you. No reason to come like gundas with 100 police in the middle of the night on Dasara to come and attack us. And that, what kind of signal does it send? So we fought alone. It's been a very difficult journey. But we must appreciate Mr. Pawan Kalyan, who's for the last 2 years, 3 years has been saying that I will not let the anti-government vote split. But that has fertilized into an alliance that he announced in October of last year. Joining BJP was not on the cards. But when we see the position of the state, the debt that we are in, us both, Janasena and TDP contesting and winning will be insufficient if we don't get the support of the centre tomorrow. And with such a strong BJP-led government in the government of India, we need their support in the future, whether to take care of this debt, to bring future investments on any policy-related matter. And that was the reason that made us go with them. And we will take this message into the people, that the three of us needed to come for that. And the other is also, I think, the moral strength that bringing a party like BJP into our alliance is that will there be a free and fair elections? Or will Gundaism take over?
No, because there has always been, earlier on, Mr. Naidu himself was clearly against, the impact or the consequences that the Bharatiya Janata Party at the centre had brought on. What do you think was the sudden change of heart towards accepting BJP and now into a well-solidified alliance?
So I think in politics there's no permanent friends or permanent enemies. It's about what priorities take front seat. In 14 to 19, we believed that what was promised to us was not coming, and we had to take a stand against it. The YSRCP targeted us and said that voters vote us in, and we will medal vanchi తీసుకొస్తాము, which is they'll pull their necks down. But it's quite the opposite. It's the YSRCP that is bending down and going to the BJP on every matter, voting for them on every matter in the Rajya Sabha, not asking for a single issue on the state. Whenever any delegation has gone, it's largely been on personal issues, but not on issues that concern the state. It's very disappointing, and I think we also realized that if we stand on a moral stand that this was our disagreement in the past, but if the state is suffering, then we cannot proceed. Yes, there have been misunderstandings and disagreements with the BJP in the past. I imagine that some of those will continue in the future also. But today, we have to take the path that will benefit the state, and if that means compromising on our earlier stand, it is necessary for us to do it.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bharat. It's been great talking to you. All the best for the elections as well. That was the Vizag candidate there, who's clearly stating that this mission 2024 for the Telugu Desam Party, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Janasena is clean Andhra, one fruitful of beneficiaries as well as development. That's their keynote. With video journalist Damodar at Visakhapatnam, Apurva Jayachandran, India Today.